step to the side. All right, good morning, or good afternoon, I should say, and welcome to our press conference. My name is Adam Soltani, and I am the Executive Director of CAIR-Oklahoma, that is the Council on American-Islamic Relations Oklahoma chapter, and we are here today with Jenan Ayesh, that is spelled Jenan-Ayesh, and she is the victim of an anti-Muslim attack that occurred in Dallas last Saturday weekend. Before we get started, and before Jenan shares an account of what happened to her and her mother, I would like to share a statement from Dr. Imam Imad Inshasi. He is the senior imam or spiritual leader for the Islamic Society of Greater Oklahoma City. Unfortunately, he could not be here in person, so he provided this statement, which I have given you in print form. The word hijab first appears in the Holy Quran in chapter 19, a chapter named after the mother of Jesus, Mary. Mary's appearance is not only a template for modesty for Muslim women, but it is also an example of righteousness for Muslim women that they seek to follow. Muslims are not the only ones who dress modestly. Modesty is a choice of many men and women across the spectrum of many religions. America is home to more than 5 million Muslims. 40% are immigrants who chose this land for its welcoming attitude. 60% of American Muslims are a combination of indigenous people and those who were born and raised in the USA that may be children of immigrants. All Muslims, all 100%, however, value our United States Constitution and the First Amendment protecting religious freedom in particular. Today we come together to stand with the Ayesh family, to stand for their religious rights and their unalienable constitutional rights. The hate and violence that they unfortunately experienced in Dallas is not only an action that goes against the values of Texas as a state, but also against American and human values. As a religious community, we will continue to support and stand with the Ayesh family until justice prevails. And to add to that, CAIR-Oklahoma will stand with the Ayesh family to make sure that their voice is heard, that people understand, both in Oklahoma, Texas, and nationwide, why it is important for them as individuals, as Muslims, as Americans, and as human beings to have their rights respected, and CAIR-Oklahoma will stand by them to see that justice prevails. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Jenan, who will share her story and exactly what happened last weekend in Dallas.
Hi, my name is Jenan Ayesh. On Saturday night, my family and I were in the reunion tower. We all had a great time, and in the evening when we decided to go home, as I was waiting for my ride, I was attacked by a woman who simply just wanted to use the door that we were standing in front of. She got really agitated with us, told me to go back to my country. As I was explaining to her that this is my country and I'm an American, she told me that if I was American, then why do I wear the scarf on my head? I told her because I'm an American Muslim. She slapped me, not just one time, she slapped me the first time. I didn't respond to her. She tried to provoke me. She got up in my face. And when she realized that she was not going to get a violent response from me, I guess that made her even more mad. So she struck me another time, and at this point she hit me in the middle of my head. I felt my eyes go blurry. I couldn't see in front of me. She had me by the scarf. She took it off my head and went on pulling my hair. People then gathered around and tried to pull her off of me, and they were successful, but at that point people were more concerned of her well-being, not mine. I even heard one of the women told her, "It's okay, sweetie." They were protecting her as if I was the one who was attacking her, not the other way around. It was very hard for me to experience this. I never thought that I would get attacked in this way, especially not in front of my mom. It was very hard for her to see that, and also hard for me to know that my oldest daughter had to witness that too. No child has to ever see their mom in that kind of condition or have to experience that. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Jenan. As you can see, that was a very difficult experience that no one should ever have to go through, regardless of race, religion, culture, or ethnicity. To speak a little bit about the civil rights aspect of things, I'd like to introduce our Civil Rights Director, Veronica Laizure. That's Veronica Laizure, Laizure.
Again, my name is Veronica Laizure, and I'm the Civil Rights Director for CAIR-Oklahoma. We're gathered here for a reason that should not be happening today in 2019. We're here today to acknowledge a victim of a hate crime that should be unthinkable in American society. Jenan Ayesh and her family simply wish to enjoy a peaceful weekend with their children before the school term started back up. Just like thousands of other Oklahoma families, they wanted to spend some time together over the holiday and celebrate the beginning of a new year. Instead, they found themselves the victims of a vicious, bigoted, hateful crime. I don't want to speak over Jenan, who has graciously agreed to be here today to share her experience, nor do I speak over the many, many Muslim women who can explain the significance of the hijab and its religious meaning. I simply want to state that CAIR-Oklahoma denounces anyone who would attack someone on the basis of her decision to wear the hijab, and we are calling for Dallas authorities to fully investigate this incident as a hate crime. Jenan and her family have stated, and we agree, that this also presents us with an opportunity for education on the meaning and significance of the hijab or religious head covering that many Muslim women wear. CAIR-Oklahoma is one organization that hopes to promote increased understanding of Islam through our programming, our social media, and our educational workshops and events. And so as part of fulfilling that mission, today we're taking this opportunity to extend an invitation to Jenan and her family to our World Hijab Day celebration, which will be taking place on February 1st. It's an event that's designed to honor and celebrate the women who wear hijab and to share their experiences with others. We also track anti-Muslim bias incidents across our state, and we share that data with national offices that track the national trends. In 2017, CAIR-Oklahoma noted a 15% increase in anti-Muslim hate crimes, and Oklahoma came in second only to Texas at the highest number of anti-Muslim bias incidents recorded in the South Central region. Clearly, we have a lot of work to do. CAIR-Oklahoma stands with all disenfranchised people in the belief that where the rights of one are threatened, the rights of all stand in jeopardy. No one should have to fear verbal harassment, physical assault, or further violence because of the way they choose to dress, whether because of religious choices or personal inclination. No one should be told to go back to your own country simply because they don't fit someone else's closed-minded view of what an American looks like. And no family of any religion, any ethnicity, any national origin, or immigration status should ever have to fear for the safety of their kids and their family in the way that the Ayesh family was threatened. Thank you all for coming today. We will take a few questions.
Did the police respond to this? And if so, what was done?
The police came up and I filed a report, and they told me that they will follow up on that. But I haven't gotten any news yet.
So no one was arrested, no citations or anything was issued?
No.
We're still working with the CAIR Dallas office to investigate how the Dallas police are responding to the incident, and more information on that will be forthcoming probably from the Dallas office, but we'll also share them here.
That was kind of what my question was going to be. Are you all working with Dallas? And
Yes.
if so, can you just talk through what sort of communications are you having with them about this specific case?
We can't get into too many of the specifics,
Yeah,
but
sure.
Ada can share some of the communications that we've had.
Yeah, sure. So Jenan's mother is still in Dallas and has been communicating with the CAIR Dallas office, and they are working with her and working with us as we work with Jenan and her family to ensure that the authorities do the proper investigation, and that if any other agencies need to get involved to look into the details of this as a hate crime and how it should be classified, that is done properly. So as soon as we find out more information, we will make it available on our website, social media, and of course through our email. So you can be in touch with us regarding that.
Ms. Ayesh, would you talk about some of the injuries that maybe you sustained? Did you have to go to the hospital at all?
I did. The first night I didn't feel anything. The next day I felt very bad headache. My neck hurt, my chest a little bit. I guess from all the adrenaline rush that I had, that's why I didn't feel it the first night. But then the next day, I was in pain, and I told myself that it will go away. It's probably just a mild concussion. But then the next day, the pain didn't go away, and I was a little worried of I may have something internal that I don't know about. So I went to the emergency room, and they took some scans, and everything was fine. And the doctor just told me that I suffered a concussion.
And Jenan, you live here in Oklahoma City?
Yes, I do.
With your mom and your daughter too, or does your mom live in Dallas?
Oh no, we all live in Enid, Oklahoma.
Okay.
But I also live here in the city because I work here too. So I have like two places that I live at right
So you
now.
live and work in Oklahoma?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you lived here?
For about 8 years now.
Originally from Detroit, if I read correctly?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
just want to make sure.
I was born there, but my dad moved us to the Middle East because he didn't have any family. My mom didn't have a big family, and he wanted us to be raised with our family. And when everyone grew up and we're on our own, we decided that we wanted to come back here.
I read at least one account that you had stepped in because this woman was accosting your mother.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. She was speaking to her in a very disrespectful way, and I just came up to her and told her to, there was no need for her to be so rude and to speak in a politer way, and she told me that she would speak in the manner that suits her. And I wasn't the one to tell her how to speak.
So it escalated pretty quickly. You were standing, and it just went from.
It escalated. There was name calling back and forth. She called me the B word, the F word. And she told me to go F myself. There were a lot of name callings, and even with that, all I was telling her is to please walk away, please walk away. And even when the first time she slapped me, I didn't respond, and I kept telling her to walk away. And she got up really close in my face and told me to make her go. And so I also didn't respond to that, and that's when she hit me in the head.
Have you ever come across a situation like that at all in your adult life?
No.
What was going through your head when she came up that close? I'm sure anyone would have felt like their privacy was being invaded.
I don't know what was, I can't remember everything that was going in my head, but all I could think of is that I'm not going to respond to this. I'm not going to respond. I was taught that if you're slapped on one cheek, you turn the other. And that's what I was trying to do. I didn't want to escalate the situation, but I guess that wasn't what she was after.
And how did it make you feel that you felt that people were coming to her defense and not yours?
It hurt. It added a little more bitterness to the situation.
Do we have any further questions?
Real quick, did it appear she was intoxicated? Did you smell any alcohol or anything?
No.
Or- okay.
And sometimes people ask us, where do these things originate from? You know, and an unfortunate incident like this does not just originate out of thin air or happen randomly. We at CAIR-Oklahoma and nationwide, CAIR believes that this is a result of the atmosphere of Islamophobia that currently exists in America. We can see it from everywhere, whether it be amongst the common people, whether it be from politicians, or whether it be from some media outlets, that there are attacks on Muslims left and right. Many of those attacks which are based on false assumptions and just rumors or hate rhetoric that is made up and not even based on truth at all. So we have to recognize that the atmosphere of Islamophobia that exists in America has a real impact on people like Jenan. Although this is the first incident that Jenan has experienced in her life, and it's one more than anyone should ever have to experience, it is not the first time that CAIR-Oklahoma has dealt with such a situation. In fact, I would say the vast majority of cases with dealing with hate crimes and discrimination that CAIR-Oklahoma has dealt with in 13 years involve women who wear hijab, because that is a very visible symbol of their faith. So we want to recognize that the atmosphere of Islamophobia in America does have a real impact and a negative impact on the lives that Muslims lead in Oklahoma and throughout the country, and that we as Americans should work on creating an atmosphere that encourages dialogue, respecting differences, and building a foundation of understanding based on things that we have in common, so that we can move forward in a way in which everyone can live peacefully, safely, and that hopefully individuals like Jenan and her children will never, ever have to experience an incident like this again.
And how old is your daughter?
She's 10.
She's 10. Oh, wow. And just one last question from me. What justice are you looking for on this? What are you looking?
I don't wish her any kind of I don't wish her any kind of harm or bad. I know she has children herself. I just want to see her understand what I went through and understand that we're not scary. She didn't need to be afraid of me. She didn't need to attack me in that way. That's mainly my point.
Okay, any other questions? Well, thank you all for coming, and if you have any other questions, you can feel free to reach out to us in the coming days and weeks. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the caring story.